Hey, what's up, sweaties? How you guys doing? Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. Welcome, welcome. Today is the DGD, which is a different game day, which is where I play different games throughout the stream. And today, sweaties, we're going to be getting into, well, to start off, we're going to be getting into some Unreal Engine 5 development. Because we gotta get back into and continue figuring out this conundrum that we are faced upon in Unreal Engine 5. And with that is the maps and getting them to seem well and how we would create that and how to get them all working with the outer boundaries that we want for the project, which is more complicated than it seems. But we're figuring it out step by step. After that, we're going to be getting into some S&Box. After some S&Box, when we now can finally start onto the PD system, we're going to be getting into, I think, WRC if we don't stay in S&Box too long. Then after that, we got to get back into as the European President, El Presidente, in Hearts 4, as the Netherlands, well, Netherlands as the European Union. So that's awesome, especially with what's happening. Is it going to be a win, or is it going to be a big fall? Probably within, funny enough, the next fall in that game. I guess we gotta figure out. But first, we gotta figure out this, which I tried to launch it, but it didn't launch. But now I gotta update it. Hold up. Wait, is it a new one? Watch, I'm gonna have to go back onto the other version. Yeah, there is a Blender update, no wonder. Okay, well, it's a little update, it's not a big one. So we should be fine? Unless they update the Python anytime they do anything like that. That's why for like C# or like some of these older languages, okay, is Blender even gonna open? There we go. That's kind of why you don't change that stuff and why they don't get updated, is for that reason. It completely breaks everything. Blender, the main updates that did that was 2.9, or 2.8 to 2.9. I think they did in both. 3.2, 3.8, 4.2, or 4.0. It was in one of those. That's like when you had to, like, really, you can't, like, you have to, if you want to use older programs and stuff and try to get those specific type of exports settings that, like the FBX, because they'll update the FBX thing. That just completely destroys this. So that's kind of the increments of the updates. If I normally have to go back in versions, it's normally going to be like those versions. Depending X amount of years I need to go back on the program that I'm trying to import or, use for my project and stuff. Like Source 1, then probably 2.9 or even further you would want if you would really want the stuff to be easy to export. You probably do with modern day, and I hope modern day tools. I was actually doing some research on Hammer 2, collecting some stuff for further when we actually get into it, because I'm like, I wonder how different Hammer 2 is. It's actually pretty similar, from what I've gathered so far with the information, figuring out, like, okay, like these type of tutorials and just looking at it, looks pretty similar, so that's really good for me, because I was, got some experience in Source 1, actually with the Hammer, not just Gary's mod, like, non-map related stuff. Because those are two separate things, and still is. But with it's actually funny because Hammer uses prefabs now. Well, they used prefab before. Well, I think they were called Instance, but now they have actually prefabs in Hammer 2, which is funny. They work in the exact way like S&Box. They're the exact thing. It's just a grouping thing that just groups whatever you got selected. And game objects are just whatever, that you make them, so it's just that, which is pretty cool. So it's actually going to be pretty easy for us to understand, so I'm super excited to learn that. But like, oh, what's this? Oh, you know what's funny? I came across a video on Minecraft that was released like like 2 months ago of like a dude importing height maps into Minecraft for like real mountains and stuff. And it's funny because he mentioned the American ones, which is the one that I knew, but they're only America, but their detail is like some of the free ones for like American certain like mountain ranges that is like 1 mm. It's like super detailed. So you can get like a 1-to-1 of the mountains. This is a 30 mm that we're using. We're using the Japanese satellites, and the Japanese space satellites got the whole world, versus the American ones, they don't. A lot of places, but that's where you go to this one. I'm just thinking like, oh man, I already figured that out. I guess I can start putting some height maps in that. But it's actually true though, because yeah, this is a height map. So any type of thing that you can use for a height map, you can have this specific location or wherever for that height map and whatnot. Which made me think like, oh, this is actually such a beautiful technique that, like, especially for the sweaty devs, of like how this has kind of transpired over time with map stuff and just trying to figure out. We're not really trying to be like, all right, we're trying to one-to-one copy this game and how they do the map stuff and how they do this. Not even anything like that. We're using it as a guideline, but then we're going to expand. So it's not going to be a true recreation, because we're just, for us to figure it out, it's good to like, hey, if we're doing art, hey, let's make, you know, like the classic fruit basket with fruits with different shapes. Helps you kind of, you know, do shading with the lighting and stuff. You know, it's kind of like that, where, all right, we'll do that, but then add some extra stuff. Maybe a table, a different type of table, different type of stuff. So that's kind of what we're doing. Or maybe different fruits, different ranges, so all that. So that's what we're doing here. And we figured out that we kind of have a problem. Well, we do get a problem, and that's what we're going to try to continue today. But yo, shout out to the sweaty devs and the sweaty lurkers and VOD watchers. Welcome, welcome. Yo, it's great to see you all, John. Hope you guys have a fantastic one. We're going to be figuring out some stuff today. Yo, hey, yo, appreciate you. Welcome, welcome. So, oh, guess what I figured out? Every time I've like went to the centrifuges, I thought about it every single time. At the very beginning, you're like, why don't you just make a parent off of the centrifuges? And I'm like, I don't know how to. So, guess what I figured out today? Because I'm like, because I checked the second centrifuge and I remembered I did some dumb stuff where I bugged it out and I got to replace other variables. So I was like, let me try to copy and paste. And the reason why I couldn't copy and paste originally, and it just had to actually copy paste the logic, is because it doesn't work. Because the references that I create to like create a variable is technically the first centrifuge. And if you copy paste, that's not the first centrifuge, it's a completely different thing, so it just breaks. Then I've been working in S&Box. I now, funny enough, understand the hierarchical system way better because of it. I'm like, I really don't want to do this, because I didn't only have to replace the few variables, I could replace a lot more. And I checked the other ones, and they got the same problem. So I'm like, it's one of those things, like, if you're doing it too much, a lot of steps, probably not the way of doing what you need to do. And so I figured it out. So you're right, in that what we should have done. But it's just like, there's no good videos on that at the time. Or at least I could find. I did Google. I probably can search right now and probably find some recent ones, like in the past 2 years. But, because I made the centrifuges, like, at the, 2 years. Like, the very first things I kind of did was the centrifuges. Like, beginning anything in Unreal Engine. It was first, I remember, placing buildings, like, taking something in here and placing buildings. It's the exact same problem I'm having now, which is the dimensions, right? So you make something in Blender, even if it's slightly off, you try to bring in the thing, 1-to-1 scale, you thought it's 1-to-1, but one thing you didn't, which is why I had, this is the exact reason why I had this here, is because of that main problem that I had the exact time. I'm like, I'm not gonna have this problem again. Because it annoyed the crap out of me. Because like, I couldn't easily change it. It was like, done. Like, bake. I gotta go all the way back and redo it all. It was so annoying. Because I was using F-Spy, or F-Spline, or whatever, the thing with the plugin. I was using that for the camera, and it was, well, I know exactly what it was. I just don't know if I want to say it because I might use it in the game. But I don't know. Well, I've kind of already said too much. because I do want to use them to game. But I would say that it was a street, like a certain street with like buildings on the side. I had the street sidewalks. I hate doing this stuff too. All of it was off. And you can't just universally scale it because of how that works. That one small bit you want to stay small, but that then gets large, which is not the right proportions. So you have to go manually. I was like, nah. I saw how to fix that. And what you could help is model references to know the exact scale of where this is. And what you could use here. So if we go here, this is how we understand just how small, like, the stuff is here. Is that. But we already know, like, I've already kind of did this when we were like originally doing this, so I don't need it right here because I understand with the height map information that's the size, and correctly it's a little bit off, just a little bit, but it's okay because what we figured out, but yeah, always, because before I gloss over that, make sure to get the right heights and you're using the right stuff. I use the export add-on. I never really do that one other thing where I don't even know where to do it because I don't like doing that at all. Where you change the scale with like the actual meters. I hate that stuff. Well, I don't hate it, very much dislike it, because it's like, it changes the whole perspective. You gotta go in and fix 50 different settings every single time, and there's like, that's for Unreal Engine, and then also with S&Box. And that happens with basically anything too, because a lot of stuff uses different measurements. So you have to like configure your project like every single time. It's like, I'm not doing that. I'll just scale it after. I know it's a bad thing to do, but dude, it's annoying. Thankfully, with the export add-on, I never have to do that with the Unreal Engine 5, so that's super cool. And S&Box, it only matters if, well, actually, it doesn't really matter. It does, but it doesn't. Because when you import it into the model dock, it's a microwave, right? It was super small in the model dock, but you take that and you place on a thing. It's technically super small, like a skin model renderer. But you scale the skin model renderer. Everything is the same size, because you're uniformly scaling that up, which is fine, versus having like a more of a complicated sculpt, like this, almost. It's just like a rectangle with a rectangle with a rectangle with a rectangle, and just like little buttons. So it's very simple to just do that. With complicated skeletons, probably not. But it was just a little microwave, right? So I got away with that. And that is important. Remember, S&Box, if you're importing skeletons, you cannot scale them in Model Dock. It breaks them. That's why you want to make sure you do that right thing with those. If they're not anything with a skeleton, I've come to find so far that just the scaling thing doesn't matter, because you can go into Model Dock, just like you can in Blender. There's like the builds, or Unreal Engine, there's a build size where you can change it and actually change it at its base, not just on one, but like everything gets increased. You can do the same thing in Model Dock for the props, and no problem. But once it's skinned with the skeleton, it problem. Still gotta figure that out, but hopefully there'll be a tool in the future. I guess I'm gonna have to make it. I mean, I probably could, but actually I don't know, because I don't know Python. I don't know anything about Python. But I mean, hey, that aside, what's the problem here? Well, I don't know how to really test this. It's kind of funny because the map itself, with the original design, was like, man, this is already a huge map to begin with. And that was before I had the knowledge of, well, it's probably not going to work too well, because I have to hard limit the goddamn... Wait, is it hard limited? Because if I don't, it's going to break. My memory's going to, like, fail. Is it hard limited? It's probably not. No, it is. Okay, good. Okay, close that so this one doesn't blink. But, from here, they said their map. Well, I don't think it was, but it kind of makes sense. I don't know. I gotta play it. They said their map... oh, there it goes. I knew I was gonna do it. The memory. For the thing. Yes. No. There we go. It's just refreshing it. That's how it's like. It's pretty cool. It's hard limit, so it's like... Oh. What the heck? I'm clicking everything. I don't know where it is, but one of them was like... 4,000. Hey, someone commented in 2023. Nice. Rip. I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that. Because with what we have, it can't really apply, but it can. Which is, how do we get these boundaries? We're never going to... Did I copy and paste? Please tell me I copy and paste. Is this it? If so, that's fine. Not... Well, actually, no. I didn't copy and paste again. Crap. That's annoying. Alright, that's fine. Crap, I didn't, back that up. That's alright. I want to... possibly... Where is it? I guess I'll make a new one in here. This will be old. I might make that a base file, too. Or a base folder in all my files, like an old one, so I could just, like, do this. Because I still want to have it. I don't want to delete it, because I can still work off of it, and I might have to. But I don't want an export folder, and I don't want all that other stuff. Alright, now we have this one. Or do we? Is that just the height map? Yes. That's just the height map. That's going over. So we want this, I think. We want the map under. And we gotta take in the game, in Unreal Engine, because I really want these terrains in the middle, the PR terrains. They could easily edit. It's too much a powerful thing to not have. And it's like, it's too much of a... I feel like I'm being limited because, like, this limitations would be like an old school limitation. Well, for this type of stuff. Because funny enough, for urban maps, it's gonna be interesting. Well, proper urban, like city urban. Yeah, I wonder how that's gonna work. Because that, yeah, it's very interesting. We're kind of like doing a little cheeky cheat. Because these mountains aren't very... Well, they're not mountains. They're just like... Well, what is it called? Yeah, technically they are mountains. The definition for a mountain is like an abrupt elevation slope of natural terrain. Even if it's not a huge... Basically, a hill is a mountain, basically. Which is... the mountain definition is very, like, broad term. So, like, Mount Olympus on, like, Mars probably shouldn't be a mountain. Because if you understand the actual slope, it's very slow incline. So it's just like a hill. Just a very large hill. That's the size of, like, Ohio. Or one of those states in America. Which is crazy. That the whole thing is just that. But, because, yeah, these aren't very extreme. Because I'm thinking, well, worst case scenario, we place a map right here. Well, where's Omaha in Utah? Omaha and Utah is right here. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, we're looking at Omaha and Utah, right? That's how far the beach is. And then low tide would make it then even further. Unless this is low tide. Or that is the thing under it and we're seeing through the water. I don't know how this height map works with water. Is like, is that technically the beach already? And if low tide is further? I gotta look at... Hold up. That's actually a great question. Because that will dictate some of these height elevation stuff. So... Omaha... Low tide. I want to see what low tide is, because that's what they attacked on. What's that distance? Oof. That looks... Phew. It's crazy. Man. You want to see this? Hold up. Let me, Don't have... Yeah, let me get my pure ref open. We don't have the map open in Unreal Engine, so I do have, like, a few more gigabytes of memory to use. So we're good. It's just kind of funny. I'm just, like, having to do that. Because of a weird thing that just happened with an update. Because I know it was... dude, you know what's funny? Because I saw that compile. Just compiling all your stuff. I'm like, I didn't touch nothing. No one did anything. Okay. Because I think it's like automatically updated. I don't know. Because I love... Dude, am I crazy in thinking every program in existence should have something like this? Like right here, everywhere. And let me see the version. That's very important when we're talking about game development. So insane to me that like Unreal Engine doesn't have it, because I really don't care to go look at my engine stuff. Because my folders are not built like that. Well, it's like 5.5, but all the 0.3, 0.1, 0.4s, I don't have in folders, because it's like, there'll be so many folders. I just have... well, I have it in a not good folder. It's in Unreal Engine 4.26, which was my first folder in, like, first ever Unreal Engine project. And then in that is my, everything Unreal Engine. So I have my Make Human assets, my Unreal Engine content assets, my optimizing assets, my package game assets, my Quixel assets, my Unreal Engine 5 exported assets, my GitHub for Unreal Engine UE.256, which is just the folder, and it doesn't have the actual engine version, but I keep it there so I see it. Then UE5.2, UE5.5, because I did have the others, but I had to delete the folders and whatnot. Then these folders just stay. Then I got my Unreal Engine 5.2 projects, Unreal Engine 5.3 projects, Unreal Engine 5.4 projects, Unreal Engine 5.5 projects, and Unreal Engine games. And then within my Unreal Engine 5.5 projects and all my other ones, because I don't have enough space, so I compress a lot of my old projects I might want to look up, and I put them into my older drives. They're not in here. The folders are really just there for the old version, so I can see my increment. And then all there I have my projects. OC256, Project Valor, and everything else. Like the side projects and all that. But, you know, if it doesn't really matter where it's at the end of the day, it only matters where you know it's at. It could be named, you just spam your hand on the keys, but if you remember that combination, then you're good. Not good when that's a shared project, because then you start when to try to use universal things, which is like V1, V2, you know, FR for, you know, frames related stuff, and where, you know, like that type of thing. That's where that becomes very important. But if it's just your stuff, it doesn't matter. Oh, but yeah, let me show you. Yeah, that's crazy. So this is low tide. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That's the Utah beach. And so they're going here. They can't go any further. They stop. They get out. There's tons of hedgehogs. And they just gotta run. That's crazy. There's probably some more sand embankments from like artillery shells and shore bombardments. That's crazy to think about. So if we look at that and that, it kind of looks like that is... I think it is going through the water, so that is like where... Because I see the edge here, and if we were to kind of calculate this, he's probably like right here. So there's a little bit more further back and all the way there. That's roughly the distance that I would see. So we are seeing like Utah and Omaha. Well, this is... Is it Utah and Omaha? Or is it like further down? I don't know. Actually, where is that? Hopefully this doesn't crash. Goo goo. Unlock oh, is that a new thing? What does that mean? Unlock data layers? Like elevation? Ooh! Oh, professional. Oh, you love rats. That's the first time I've seen that. They're low rats for that. Utah Beach, France. I can see it there. Which would be cool. Here we go. Oh. Okay. Oh, beach. Yeah, it's there. Utah. I didn't realize they were so close to each other. In like Omaha? What is it? How do you spell Omaha? Is it, did I just spell it? Yeah, it's... Is that how you spell Omaha? Dude, we're goddamn weird with our language. Yeah, I thought it was further. They're like, they're not that close. That'll be a crazy naval invasion. You're right next to each other. Too close. I thought so. So, we don't have Utah here. No. So we have up to here. We would have to get the other thing to get... Oh, Omaha. We got Utah. And for this area, we're... Like right here somewhere. Yeah. Near St. Miraculis, Dumont, and Carrington. Okay. So we're looking at that. Yeah, that is the proper LiDAR scan for that stuff. Right. Interesting. Interesting. So... And then we would have points. And it's crazy because for here's in generals, that UI for the map... Yeah, I don't think we need this one. So let me go into the other one. Save that. Like, they had a lot of these places. Like... Because especially if we zoom in, we get to see it's just like hills. So... Not that crazy, but... That's something we gotta, like, there is gonna be those little sharp areas. We gotta be careful about that. Now, because it's easy for us, because I'm be like, you know, we get this nice little, we figure something out, and then realize, wait, this only works in the spot that we're currently at. It's like, we might need to figure this out a little bit more. But I think, trick that I kind of want to now employ, I think it would work anywhere. Even Omaha and Utah. So for like Utah, yeah, exactly there. I want to go exactly Utah. Oh yeah, dude, that's cool. Dude, that's really close to Hell Let Loose map. Dude, it's the Hell Let Loose map. Google Earth and Hell Let Loose crossover. Why does it look like they're shells? What are they doing over here? It does look like they just got shore bombarded. Nice. Yeah, is it the 2025? Yeah, it's crazy because, you know, if you know the Utah map, there is that middle part here with some buildings. Because they go... Get our ruler. Because they have the beach. That's as tall. Yep, that's about it. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I think they push this line further. Dang, dude, I can't even imagine going on that beach. That's crazy. And G42s are just... Man. Can't even imagine. Okay. So then... That's that. Now... Can I do like 2 lines? How does that work? Am I able to do that? I would love 2 lines, but I can, I guess, eyeball it. Okay. If you're watching Utah Beach, it's like, wait a sec, what's going on? We got a live feed going on right now. That'd be crazy. That's Utah. Man, naval invasion maps are gonna be so interesting. Because that's 2,000 meters, right? But... It's so interesting. Because I'm trying to figure out what could be our, like, default map sizes. It's gonna be like 2,000 by 2, because I'm thinking... because why I kind of went down this route is the original drawing. I remember extending the map like, dude, we'll extend it a little bit more because the planes are going to go and land. If I can go over here. Boom. They're going to go and land up over here and up over here. But that doesn't work. That's not how that works. That's not how the maps work. This is like, if I get a transport vehicle, I'm easily flying through here. So this is like a center map, H&G map. And that realization really does mean, like, we have to accommodate for that edge to be used. Having a trouble time figuring out how we could best do that for a lot of these areas. And then it came to my mind, like, oh yeah, we do have amphibious. We're gonna have amphibious maps. Or coastline maps. And the coastline maps are going to be very interesting because I want the coastline. But I also want boats in the game too. And amphibious maps would be sick for that. You'd be able to spawn. Because it goes from like 2,000, so it's like 2,000, but then we would have to like extend it to, well, the whole map is technically going to be still 75 km in each direction. Because we got to see everybody when we're in a plane. But the actual playable area for like everything is going to have to, especially extend now, it's going to be like 6,000. So for these maps, we got to really figure out that as well. There's a lot of figuring out when we have these specific cases. We can't just be like, all right, 2,000 by 2,000, let's make it. It's like, that's not going to work. The map flow will not work. Because if we look over here, because also, I thought about it too, the map is very flat. Which I should maybe, like, make some elevation changes. Like here, maybe, like just a little bit. But the thing is, I wanted it flat. Because it's supposed to be flat. But that doesn't really entirely mean it's going to be a great map because it's going to be flat and all that stuff. But that's kind of the whole purpose. So like, alright, flat. Then here we get some bumps. Because then we get extended. Alright. How do we best determine how much do we extend and how much will be playable? And it really, I can't figure out the exact use case. It's just going to have to be determined based on the case itself and what type of map that we're going to have and stuff. Because if we have this, it's going to start like 2,000 by 2,000 or 2.5 by 2.5. Now 2.5 for like an H&G map. Like Hell Loose is way different. We're thinking warfare, right? So we're thinking box. They can go up, they can go down, they can go this, they can go that. Now, should we have it where it's not always a box? It's like a Hell Loose map. Like, yeah, but that really changes everything. It really does. The flow, everything. Like here, you can go up in Hell Loose, but you can't go up here in Hell Loose. And you can't go over here in Hell Loose. That means you're gonna be able to go over here and invade over here in Hell Loose. Well, are you? I mean, I don't know, right? Because how many lanes are gonna be there? So we'll experiment. Alright. What are the objectives for Utah Beach? Great question. Maybe like 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3? Just push lines, basically? Because you can, because it would be like, yeah, if the maps are going to be that large, you're going to want the spacing on that stuff. So these guys, like, push over here, capture this. These guys push over here, they got to capture that. They got to go over here. Or they got to go over here and capture that. Then the defenses, them get, like, nothing here. But that's how it's going to be. That's where we got to become imaginative and like kind of further create some stuff. Because what's going to be the priority? Like, what are you trying to capture to win the game? And it's like, that's an interesting question. For a lot of these areas, they don't bend right. Or they don't, well, the terrain isn't built for that stuff. Because what I'm afraid and what I'm trying to figure out is, for example, so if we got a hill and I just take a flatten tool and I just flatten a part of it, you can easily tell someone just took a brush and flattened it. And I suspect that's going to happen here, but for the planes and where they're going to land. That's my worry. And we had a good solution, but I guess the solution is still going to be the same. But I'm just kind of worried over time that will not be a great solution, but I can't figure out, and there's really no other way to kind of figure this out via videos and stuff, because we've kind of like looked at everything that we can look for and trying to gauge this type of stuff. Because if we were to make, so this is the center, right? So we have to go out, because we determined it's roughly for our sight lines, and what we want to have is 75 km away. So, in each direction. So you're going to see 75 here. You're going to see 75 here, 75, 75, 75, all like that, right? So you're going to see that much. So you're going to get like 2 or 3, 4 LiDAR scans. Legit. And you're going to see that. It's the sight lines, but the actual playable area is going to be down here. But it's just... It's so funny. The plane playable area, I don't know how they just... They're like, yeah, we'll just... Well, they were those type of guys. If you had any other group that made Heroes and Generals, I don't think the plane out-of-bound areas would be as good. It's just like, oh, you just open it. We can't just do that for every case. We're not just trying to make Mountain Town, or Town, like 5 more of those. No, we're trying to make Utah Beach. We're trying to make St. Miragelis, Dumont, Battle Berlin, Stalingrad, Kharkov, Leningrad, $1 Million Bunker. We want pretty accurate representations of those locations. That completely changes the shape of the terrain to allow or not allow that type of stuff, which will, I mean, it's kind of okay in the sense of, well, of course, it's a lot of urban. You can't just land your plane there. It's like, okay, but we got a lot of areas where, for optimization reasons, because we just, for some reason, Unreal Engine just like, hey, let's increase the memory budget of all the terrains by like 2 for no apparent reason within the past update. I gotta check, well, I gotta update it again because I'm in one before, so they maybe fixed the memory update, but I'm afraid to update that just yet, so I'm about to do that soon because I know that's going to be a whole other thing. But I think we could do it. It's just, we're going to have to be very careful. We're legit just going to have to take it by hand. Where it's like, alright, this is St. Miragelis, this is Dumont. I mean, we're right next to them, right? Where's the Dumont? Where's Dumont? St. Miragelis. Dumont. I saw it at the moment. Are they further down? Oh, there's Église. Well, this is like a more modern version, so they're going to have like a few buildings back then. Hey, what's up, friend? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Oh, how you been? I hope you've been great. So I'm just kind of doing research because we're trying to figure out a problem with Unreal Engine, and we have to be smart here in with how we're gonna do certain things. Yo, welcome on in. Hope everybody's had a fantastic day. Because if we have a ruler and be like, the whole thing here is 2000. That's why St. Miragelis is such a great map. So then 2000 and 2000 like this. So our map right now is 2.5, the training ground. So we have like 2.5 roughly. Then we have like 2.5 roughly, right? So then the map's not going to be like that. Then you're going to have this other playable area. So then you're going to have like this. It really, yeah, because now you're starting to see it because we have these little, oh my goodness. Wait, I don't know how we're going to do it. Wait, how did they just figure that out? They're like, yeah, we will know. Well, you know why they didn't really figure it out? Because they never made the maps for it. So they didn't really have this problem. But we legit, because look what happens. My problem, we enter into other areas because of how far the outer's got to be. So how are we going to make certain ones? So I guess these are only going to be the main points. Because the actual playable area is going to be so close to, like, Chef Dupont. And Chef Dupont 100% would be a thing. Because that's too little, wouldn't it be? Because, yeah, we want St. Miragelis and we want St. Dumont. St. Mount is like, yeah, right here. We don't even really see St. Mount. So like, we got to see this view. It'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we got to like go in and be like, all right, do we need other ones here? Maybe one here so they can go around. Oh my god, dude, how do they do this for the war map? So wild. Because I know the dimensions. I can like imagine it right now. This line, all extended across on each side here. But if we were to look at this, we do see that, yes, we actually do get the land and all the stuff to do it. And the most important thing, which I'm having a problem with, is terrain texturing. That's the problem. The terrain texturing of how we're going to do that type of stuff. This was going to be like the outer bounds of this, but no, we got to extend this center part out by however much. 100%. 100%. Because with all the terrain, it's cool I can see the line bend too. Because we get to see the height difference in certain areas like this. Now let's maybe go for an extreme. Because I want basically everywhere. Which is very... Well, it's such an easy... Dude, that's why I have... Dude, H&G is so funny. I love just like when people do dumb stuff like that. Because... like developers just being dumb, because then you think about, dude, well, imagine like a battle up here through Switzerland, and so like I already thought about this, but then we reimagine like their hilltops and everything are pretty crazy. Yeah, we could probably get some great well, we can see some great, whoa, they got some great height maps here. Look at this. Wow, I've never seen it. Wow. Yeah, that would, dude. This is a pretty sick area. Maybe we make Switzerland first. No, I'm just kidding. Well, yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. Well, dude, this would be a sick H&G map right here. What is this? How far is this? Oh, 2.5. I could tell. 2.5. Okay, so here's great question. So 2.5, or a great example. 2.5 to like 2.5. So it's actually like roughly like around here, right? So then we have the outer bounds, which is going to be, so that's like 800. Boom, 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 boom. There's not always going to be a place for a plane to land. But then also, how are we going to match up the terrains like this? Oh. Yeah, any hill map is going to be weird. Maybe we just sculpt it. I mean, at the best... Because he like the yeah, this could be a problem. We could only go that far. That means the out of bounds map is going to be here. So like this right here is going to be hard to like match. Look at that. Like the outer has got to be taller. But maybe that would work. Interesting. I think I've downloaded. I think my brain's downloaded the information that it needs. I would have loved... Dude, when I... Oh, dude, this would be an awesome map. Wait, legitimately? I really like this area. I would love to see a map like this here. Be like here in the urban. Now, it would be kind of tricky, though, because you probably would have a lane coming from up there. So people would be attacking from above down below. Like tanks. They're going to be, like, shooting from here down in. People are not going to like that when they're defending here. But, well, yeah, you know why? This is going to be one of the... Like, people would hate this map. Because you never defensively put yourself in a location like this, because everybody's going to just shoot down above. But... if we want locations to be accurate, we got to do that. And like, you know, remember I was saying, like, take a flat brush and go, hey, I don't want, you know, I don't want that. Then it's gonna be, then we're taking the actual elevation. We gotta like change. So let's imagine that, right? So it's okay. Let's try to minimize the slope. All right, we continue to do that for the rest of the area. It will be noticed, like here, like we would have to sculpt the height map down. 100% if we like flatten everything, it will be noticeable. I can guarantee it, because it's just how the natural, our eyes are so good for lines. The natural formations of that stuff will be really tricky. Now this looks more extreme than it is. Oh, than it is over here, of course. Because those are all just hills, but this is like true height map information. So, could just make some platysuit be landed on. We're really gonna do something like that, right? I mean, I guess so. And then with urban, with heavy urban, it's gonna be just one little look here. Let's go to Berlin. Battle of Berlin. Now, where are you landing your plane? Nowhere. See how far this is. Oh wow, this is actually a short area. Like here to here. But the funny thing is, we're taking a 2.5... Well, 2,500 meters, right? Battle of Berlin might have to be larger because of that. So then we can accommodate certain areas. Or we just straight up blow up the buildings that would be here that, like, might have actually been there. But hey, if we look. So if we go... I think I can do it. Oh, we are looking at apparently 1940. Oh no, this one does have 1943. Yeah. Just barely, though. Oh no, there we go. It's loading. Actually, we do get some nice footage here. Can we see, like, all them buildings? Kind of hard to tell. Well, that's destroyed. Yeah, okay, I'm trying to, like, tell which ones look destroyed. All of this is destroyed. That's destroyed. Remember combat mission taking place in a town where the Soviet opponent was pushed down an open hill. Because, yeah, what we're doing is, you know, we just got a little project. A Project Valor. And we're just trying to make some awesome, you know, trying to figure out some awesome maps here. You know, inspired off of Red Orchestra, inspired off of War Maps, inspired off of Battlefield. Nothing too crazy. Just a little side project. You know, just imagine if you could actually go to Battle of Berlin and then fight there. You know, just imagine with some awesome vehicles, like maybe the Mouse and all that. Like, if you really wanted it, even though that probably would be one of the worst vehicles in the game. Well, yeah, but no. The, like, the Mouse tank. The Mouse. Because it's gonna be so slow. Because it was. So, like, someone is just gonna, like, loop you with, like, a Hellcat and just, like, shoot you 30 times and back, and you're down. Because it's gonna take, like, 30 times. Because you're the mouse. But imagine, though. That'd be cool. Like, who cares? Because you know what I'm looking here? I'm looking for destroyed buildings. We're just gonna have to base it off of that. Yeah. I think we could do it. Because with the airfield areas... Well, here's a great question. Is there ever going to be a map without air? Like, you cannot actually send any air here whatsoever. Because it's not allowed. Because none can get there. There's no area like that besides the Pacific. Hey, is little John over here eating some Hawaiian pizzas? Got Pearl Harbor. Honolulu. Dang, really? See, now, I look at Cherbourg, and I'm thinking it's kind of like that. But no, like, some of these things don't look that... Wow, so... That's interesting. We could... Okay, that's gonna be weird for the war map. Because, yeah, do we want to have like multiple provinces where you can walk around and do stuff? Like, this area is so big. We could have it be like Australia, where you could just go around the coastline and go like a few in. You could actually see the provinces. Oh, cool. Yo, we can, like, Hearts of Iron 4. It'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Hearts of Iron 4 only has 1. So it'd be like 1 tile you'd have to send your guys. But I'm thinking, how will we have stuff over here? It probably would just be... Like, I'm not thinking... Oh, wow, that's crazy. 1984 resolution, 2023. Wow, whoa, that's so beautiful. Yeah, don't they use, is it Johnson's Atoll or another island as like an emergency plane landing? That's cool. Can we see height map elevation? Can. Apparently we can also, we're underwater. That's cool. No, I think every... Well, actually, here's... Well, great question. How tall is this? Or far is this? Interesting. Oh, wait, there's water wave animations. Cool. So, with islands... Yeah, no, we'll do the same thing. You know what we would do here? We'll just add carriers. Like, straight up, even if they're not movable, you can land your plane there. 100%. It would be basically like Battlefield 1942. That's why they did that. Because it's, well, that's why they did in real life, because there's nowhere to land. But, like, do you need to land on this? Not, or, like, have that? Not really? Yeah, okay. So, I think that will be fine. Certain maps are going to have good areas for them. I don't think we need to force accommodate. Not always. Well, for a lot of the, of course, the Pacific maps, I don't think no one's going to really care because it's the Pacific Islands. Of course, they're going to be like 2 inches long. There's not going to be enough stuff around for that. But if we're going all the way over here in Europe and stuff, then, like, Utah Beach and whatnot, people would be looking at that. And, like, for Utah Beach, would there be carriers to begin with, even if we don't have boats? Probably, because we would want people to go around. But it really doesn't matter. I'm just trying to make sure, because H&G never had to face this problem, because they never went this hard in the paint for the maps, even though they had the system for it. Like, the actual, you went there. Like, they assigned the maps. They changed them before. On the war map, so like, you know, like if they could change it from an airfield to a town. They did that in one of the things. There was a lot of airfields, and I remember they changed them in, like, the center of Germany. I forget the actual area, but I remember some veterans talk about it, and they were upset about it. So, I think it would just be on, yeah, it would just be a map basis. If it's just not that good, it's just, well, it's just that area. And we won't have to force accommodate it, meaning if it really comes down to we're having problems lining up some stuff for the outer plain area where you can safely land, because H&G always had that, because their maps were just more generic filler maps, which we're going to have too. We're going to have, which are not realistic maps. Well, they're realistic, but they're not, they're like based off of, like, let's just, you know, these 5 areas over here, we'll, like, look at these and be like, all right, that would be a cool looking map for, like, a generic fill in the stuff, because we got to make those first. But, yeah, I guess, because funny enough, we will get away that we can, because it doesn't really matter. So we can make up that stuff and use it as inspiration. But once we get serious with one map, like, all right, we're making St. Mariglis, we cannot do that, and we will have to be, we're bound to the outer bounds areas of these maps. The plain area of the maps. Or the plain landing areas. The plain areas actually be further, where they can actually go out of that they can't land, because if they do, it would just be, you got 4, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1 type thing. And then you die. Or it's a no collided area, but I don't want to do that. It'd be like, alright, you touch ground, alright, you got a few seconds to get out. And people could be like upset, like, dude, I wouldn't do that. But if we allow people, maybe we could, but it'd be interesting to allow people to go all the way over here, get out, heal, and then fly back into battle. It's a problem of veterans are going to do that and annihilate people. Because they will just get out, they know their little path, they know the hidden area that no one ever goes for, they're going to repair, come right back in, annihilate all the planes, come right back over there, do that again. Which is not bad. And it sounds cool, but imagine that's happening to you. And they're going to keep doing that. Like, people would, yeah, they'll abuse that. That's why I'm thinking we have to make it, like, don't do that stuff. But for the areas, yeah, I guess we'll just go... Maybe I write that down. It does seem important. Wait, do I have you in this? I think I do, don't you? Yeah, sharing with one person. Yeah, yeah. You get the Project Valor, Doc. Yeah. So when creating maps, going to add that to that little spot. That's important. So. Conclusion, if filler maps of any kind can take liberties to create more safer plane landing areas to repair. Non-filler maps must obey by the landscape height maps. For plane landing areas. Repair. You can adjust a bit, but you must mostly keep it the same. Plane landing areas are 200 m to 1000 m. Going any further doesn't. Any further has lag problems. Right. So then we have our height map here. Or displacement? Yeah, displacement. So then displacement maps from Japan. I don't even use LiDAR, I just say LiDAR. Scanning maps are 520. Strength. Okay. Then must from the center of the map, the view range is around 75 cam. I think we went to 75 to 100 cam. I guess it would really depend on the map. So we'll say 75 to 125 cam. Yeah. Now the interesting thing, because it's gonna be so. Oh no. I don't know. I got crazy ideas, and I really do far think. And I'm thinking, I don't want to, you know, little crazy idea, kind of crazy. And I want to have it, but I don't know logistically how it's gonna work in the long term, mechanically gonna work in the long term, and if it would even be healthy for the game to have because of how that could separate everybody. But let's just say if there's ever jets. Well, there will be. I'm talking modern jets, not the Messerschmitt. Messerschmitt coming in, guaranteed. But other jets, they go really fast, and all those boys going that fast are going to zip through the maps quick. And in War Thunder, they know that and accommodate the maps and make them longer. So for like jet maps, if we have jet technology, like modern, like post 1950, we gotta like connect the maps together. But I guess it'd be the same or we gotta like send more out so they could fight in a further outer area, and then can go go out, go out, go out, instead of kind of just being. That's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be like boom, fighting all this area with jets, then World War II planes, and Messerschmitt. Those could be the difference, but I think the same stuff is going to apply. If there's any time of more than just a Messerschmitt. So let's take this. Do we even need to melt it? Well, if we just have that, great question. Let's try it. We did our research. Let's now try this. So copy paste. I'm gonna apply. Oh. Apply, apply, apply. We get, yep. Bring this up over. Save. Wait, which one did I apply? Oh, I applied the wrong one. Okay. Now it's going to say the thing, right? Because I keep forgetting because I haven't been doing this. I haven't opened Blender. Yep, all good. Thankfully I didn't open the map yet, so we're fine. Little quick, nice restart so we can get this working. Do we have some other tunes? We do got some other tunes, don't we? Fingers. Man, I gotta reorganize my music. I moved it and it's so unorganized. We do got some of the beat tapes. That'd be sick. It's fingers.
But his most popular name used by the majority
people is fingers. Okay, there we go. Then go back at Blender. Push. Then we gotta wait, because I gotta get the thing. Wait, what? Oh, that's right. LOD, because I got the thing so I can do it. There we go. I thought I had a command for this. I gotta really create that. Here, let me do that real quick. I always don't do that. Do like a little macro. Fingers. I haven't listened to this music in a minute. This used to be the music that I would play a lot. It's because I moved everything. That's why through folder search, it takes me a hot minute to find some music. Like some of the older ones. Same thing for some of the older files in Blender. Wait, what was it doing? Oh yeah. Wait, where's that? In the middle? That's right. I'm making this a macro real quick. This will be, Blender. Is by majority of people. Enter. Copy. And I think some of these I didn't, oh yeah, that's right, yeah, some of these I didn't put on stream. Oh. Fingers. Alright, now let's see if I can do it. Nice. That should speed things up in the future now. That nice and easy. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. Played Arts of 4. We'll be playing that later. Right now I wanted to get into, because we're trying to figure out some stuff. We started with some Unreal Engine 5. Then we get into some of the awesome. We're now playing as Netherlands. First time as the European Union. The old rabbit holes got turned into the dark archives. But I hope it was a fantastic day. Let me do this real quick. Oh. Yeah, we export. We will be getting into Arts of 4 within a few hours, though. Oh yeah, I do have this. Hold up, let me close some stuff. Yep, let me limit. Okay, we're limited. I'm gonna close Google Earth. I did my research. Did the research on the stuff, figuring out just how I could get this going out. Boom. Do we need Blender open at the moment? I think I could. Dude, I'm so annoyed about the memory stuff. I want to make sure that we're good. I don't really need this open either. Close that. Give it a second so the memory can digest. Alright. Because with a little thing, oh, we got a classified, what is that? Oh, field blueprints? Oh, Project Valor classified? Whoa. What does that mean? Classified upon what? Red Orchestra 2, 1, and H&G with Battlefield and all the others combined. Even Hella Loose. We're just taking inspiration from everything, literally. To make what we want. Which is currently not out there at the moment. And you might be like, yeah, right. You'll see. Well, I think the other projects might get released first before ours. Which is okay. There's no race. Which is, because for anything H&G related, which is a first person and... My PC just turned into... death. What a back. Oh, well, actually, no. It was just a small little hiccup. We're good. Thankfully, I did that. If I had the other stuff, I'm pretty sure this would have went down. I do apologize for the technical difficulties. This is the thing that we're trying to figure out on how to best approach this, because we got some weird stuff happening. We don't know why. But let's get this, because I want to figure out if we can get There it is. Oh, I forgot to cut it out. Actually, no, it doesn't really matter, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. It's because we gotta use these. I don't know, like, how we're gonna use the Switzerland one, I have no idea, but that's what we're trying to figure out. Which I think we're just gonna, like, line this up as best as we can in the location. We could even clip it out, but clipping out probably would work. Actually, yeah, it would. That's fine. So it would be like, we'll get that under here. Finger style. Yeah. I haven't listened to Fingers, but yeah, this was like some of the death music I would just listen to. It's almost trance-like. And just, that's what it's like, I get into the, like, dev mode. Fingers, 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 fingers. I guess we go for it. You know how to extend this? Oh, I think I did, but it crashed. So we'll go out, let's just say for this map, what's a good rough area about planes? Probably around 600 meters. Fingers, fingers.
This silver dollar, you still want it?
Because right now I'm seeing we're gonna need the terrain. And this is just how it would have to be. Because we can't just easily terrain deform the crap. Oh, here's another one. Fingers. Oh, there goes. Well, there's number one. Kind of a problem. I had a feeling that would happen. The problems. I'm thinking. Is it, oh, yeah, it's the virtual textures? Hey, we're at 66 now. Could that be? What an interesting... It's definitely the virtual textures, I think. So I gotta unvirtual texture them. And the crazy thing is, the more I load it up, the faster it is. Like, the memory's better. You know what I think? I don't, Did they do wireframe? I don't even see that wireframe. Oh no, there we go. What if I do it in that way? I think it's... This did not do this. Remember when I went like even larger tiles at once and it was chilling? That's where I'm like... That's why thankfully we're doing these tests, bro. I'm like confused. Super confused. But... okay, so I kind of want to have... let me see. I'm going to open up Task Manager. Because my GPU is chilling like curling. Alright, nice. Alright, let that load up. So we're running at 15 gigabytes of memory right now in Unreal Engine. For no reason. Place another one. Now we're at 14.8. Oh my god, dude. Every tile is 100 megabytes of memory. So every 200 meters is 100 gigabytes of memory for editing. That's crazy. What a dilemma. I'm gonna save that. Go back to the thing. Now we're at 15 gigs, 15.3. I can still go for a few more gigabytes. But still, the 15 gigs are still there. We might have to restart it so it can fully flush. Because I want to open up the shaders. And I know it's going to freak out. Okay, now it's starting to go down. Slowly. Will it just be faster to completely shut it down? Yep, it would be. So shut it down. Let the memory refresh. Load it back up. Then we open the shaders. I want to see just how much. Because I did virtual shader them. I guess we got to turn that off. Or is it just the amount of shaders? Because I want to see. I can't remember. Do I have just useless shaders in there that I have to... dude, it's so different. In just the memory department. Because I would be at like 8 gigabytes right now. Like what I just said would be at 8. That's for one single thing, 6 to 8. I'm at 14 gigs now. That Unreal Engine uses. We don't do anything different, haven't downloaded anything different, we didn't do anything like that different for that. So that's very interesting. That's very interesting. So now if I look at Unreal Engine, at a base, it's at 4 gigs. And, well, it's 4, goes up, then it goes down to like 2.8, because it like is loading all my stuff and whatnot. That's kind of normal. Now if we go to, is it landscape? I think it's a German one, yeah.
Tell us where the Kung Fu Finger Book is, or else we'll kill you.
It's 100% of virtual textures.
Just the kind of opponent I waited for.
So how much of these are we using? And not using? I don't know. We don't use a lot of these. Can I go to my... oh no, I need like an actual landscape to see the... I gotta open up the map again, so I can see just what's used. So this is like... because they're virtual textures. Virtual textures help with optimization, but increases the memory on this type of load. Okay. So... how do I determine this stuff? Yeah, I seriously don't know which ones I use or not. Well, that's a problem. Because if I cut this down, that will help. 100%. Guaranteed. But... that sucks. I know you use dark soil, forest path, mossy. I seriously don't know which ones to use. They don't even tell you on that stuff too. Crap. So what do I do with a already used map? Well, I can see... Well, I just have to do that. So I gotta close this. Go into the map. And I gotta just screenshot which ones are being used. Because I did remove all the ones that I didn't use. Memories of at 13 gigabytes, 14 gigabytes, 15 gigabytes, 15.1, 15.5, 14 gigabytes. Now we're back down. That's crazy. It's definitely the world partition crap, guaranteed, as well. Like, it's all of it. Everyone hates. Right. I remember you can't have more than 11 textures in one tile. Oh, unless you turn them to virtual textures. Yeah, it is the virtual textures. That's okay. You can do a lot with a little, but... doo-doo. So, what do we do? Well, I just start deleting them. Well, I guess I could check. I don't know. The mossy forest floor, I 100% think we don't use. No, but it's so good! Wait, that is actually a really good texture. I want all the textures. The memory's going up. Leave some soil. Don't use that anywhere. Is it that one? No. I don't know how to dude. Subtractive blend, maybe? Will that, like, work? So, like, wild grass, and I'll use it. Subtractive blend? Nothing. So I cannot tell if they actually are good or not. Like, being used. Unless I just delete them and they're just gone. Alright, well, I know I don't use that one. So delete that layer.
No need for you to worry. But I must go.
Now I have 15 gigs. Well, apparently they were both in those layers. Not anymore. Yep, it definitely was over there being used, but I kind of like this forest path. That looks like way better for this area. Grass 2. It doesn't even look different, but that's the whole purpose. And we're out of memory. So, conclusion? Virtual textures, I think, are the problem. I think that really is it, because, okay. So, what do we do? Okay. The reason why there's two reasons why I turned them to virtual textures. One of them was because of optimization. The other was... because I could have more than 11 textures in one area. That's so stupid. We don't have, like, modern day stuff that is, like, supreme like that. But it makes complete sense. But it also doesn't, because I could go and do that in Blender, but it's baked. This stuff is never baked. It's all render layers. Well, I guess it is baked, but it's, like, not at the same time. Like, it's rebaking it all the time. Not all the time, but when you're doing it, it's like, it bakes that quadrant. Like, all right, you just placed it, but not really baking it, but like, kind of, because it's not like GIMP. Well, it is, but it's way more unoptimized. Which makes sense because you're in the game and it's a render layer, but like still, it shouldn't be that bad. But it is. So what do we do? Well, we have problems. More than we expected. That, like, this is a perfect example of, like, things can just go bad after, like, an update. And you just have to, just gotta figure it out. This was nowhere near the problem that we're having now. It's not my end, because I actually see the gigabytes going up. If it was, like my memory was just broken and not getting used type stuff, you wouldn't see your memory going up in Task Manager, or your GPU memory. All of it's going up, so it's being used more than what it was previously used. Which, we could probably also, maybe it's the terrain with the geometry, because the geometry is pretty big, but that's not the biggest thing. Memory, that's not what memory is going to be used for, mostly. It's definitely the shaders. And I wanted to have more than 11 of them in a quadrant. Maybe I just tell them to know, like, oh man, that sucks so much, though. Because I love painting so much, and it's just like, that sucks, I can't just have as many as I want over here. Because it really would make everything look so much better. That makes me think we're not doing it right. But we are doing it right, it's just our maps are just crazy big. But then how do you make... That doesn't make sense. Then how do you make, like, a huge map? And like a Battle Royale size map. How does Unknown Battlegrounds make their huge maps? They use Unreal Engine now. They have to use something. What are they using? Do they use more than one like, maybe their textures are pretty basic, but they're just, like, they have like 5 in their palette, and that's all they use for that whole map. Because, well, you can, which I figured out, you could use up to 11. I think it's 8 without virtual textures, 11 with virtual textures that you could use without having problems. And you can then go into a different quadrant and paint over there, and you can, like, it uses that slot, so it's fine. But, like, man. So, mossy forest floor, there's going to be nothing of that. It sucks. Well, I mean, this is a test, but... Man, I love painting. Oh no, that's the one I wanted. Yeah, mossy forest floor. Yeah, that one's, like, that's perfect for what we're having here. So we're keeping that one. Grass we're keeping. Mossy ground. Yeah, I mean, do I just turn them off of all virtual textures? I don't know what to do. Mud tracks we gotta keep. Large stuff we gotta keep. Ground gravel, all, dude, these are all like the basic ones that we gotta keep. It is. No, it really is. Okay, well, how many are here? That's basically like all of them besides some of the other ones. Oh, man. I'll try... But, like, if it's less resolution, why would that matter? How did I close my bar like that? Oh. No, wait, how did I just... Okay, I somehow... What did I do? I don't know how I just did that, but I just, like, minimized the content browser here. What did I do? I just clicked 2 buttons there and it just brought me to the level editor. Whoa. Where is it? There we go. Wait, why did this stuff, like, collapse? Weird. If we go onto the terrain... Which one is it? It is LOD. Okay. Now let's go to the settings. Maybe it really will help if we do like lower this. Details. Okay. So what happens if I go LOD 0? No, other LODs. I don't know what's higher. So LOD 0, the larger the number, the more performance you got. 0 is the unoptimized. So we'll say 2.7 for that. We'll go up to then 7. I think that made that worse. It did. So this has got to go to like 2.5. What's the colors? How can I tell? Okay, what's better? What's more? It's cool that like if you look in. So red is smaller. Yeah, so that's normally red is bad. White like goes red, white, and all that stuff. So this is like, and if we do that, it does really extend the areas. Okay, I'm seeing. So we're doing it good. Yeah. So other LEDs got to go lower. Now, if we go to the, what is it, tries? Draw count? Well, have our draw count, then have stat unit. Get our prims. So, in our stuff, we got base pass 430, pre-pass 430, total 1,000. It really is that. Interesting. So then, I would say maybe 1.5. How close does that get? All right. I ran out of 0.2 megabytes. Dang. This thing is just... One more try for today. That's dude, it's so insane to me that dude, they 100% put a memory bug in. Guaranteed. We were at 5.53. I'm at 5.54 now. I can guarantee like that times 1,000 because there's no way. I had 2 landscapes, both with the same material type crap. The inner one was that the outer one was very low. I was adjusting. Oh, it did crash a little bit, but it wasn't like this. That's crazy. So it might even be worse for you, Lil John, if you try to get... if you try to get in... No! You thought it was bad before. Try to open it up now. PC just becomes an IED. No! Come on. You just hear your fans... It's like, what's going on? That's crazy. It's just like, it really is funny. Because, like, you might be thinking, ECAT, you pulling prank on us? Of just how much? Like, do you just got like a memory lag switch that we don't know about? Maybe. Maybe that's how good I am in games. Maybe I just memory lag switch the enemy. If they're beating me, I just lag switch their PC with their memory, and the PC just explodes. Their hard drive in the PC explodes. Or no, their memory stick. Yeah, it would be the memory, not the hard drive. It would be the memory. So stupid. So let's try 1.5. Okay, now that's extreme. So you saw 3.0 to 2.5 is like, or 1.5 is crazy. That's awesome. Let's see our numbers. What's our draw count? Does our draws get lower? Oh wow, our total draw count goes to 3,000. And I thought about it too, we shouldn't be using... Dude, I really... Man, whoever made the tree add-ons... Well, they're not game ready. They're not. So, like, there should be just one... Literal, like, one leaf texture for, like, 4 different tree groups. So that would save so much. But we don't have that, so we gotta go and do all the crap if we really want that, unfortunately. But there's our LOD. So LOD is 0. So, like, this one is always going to be, like, spicy. I kind of like that. Why is this one yellow? Yeah, why is it like that? I want to see what the ground looks like, though. Just go now be, more rigid. You can kind of see it. It's like, man, does it look flat over there? Yeah, because it is. Not really a big deal, but it is too noticeable, like going here and doing that. Yeah, too noticeable. So I gotta go... We want a ridge that size about here. So what's the LOD at? Right, okay. So if we're here, LOD is 0. User change LOD gener- It's a normal distribution. Numbers influence directly the proportion. So maybe... I don't know what... Well, I guess we'll try this. We'll try to put it to 2. What happens at 2? I think that's... Okay, so it is, like, less. Well, 2.5... I want to keep to the center. So it really is just this. We could decrease or increase the screen size. So maybe go up to 1.85. And push... Okay, that's good. Alright. Problem is, you're going to see that guy right behind there. So we probably do... Well, let's get back over here. If I do increase the other one, how does that help to, like, with this? So we want to be like, that's blue. Where is it? Oh, I'm on the sphere. So try 4? So then this center is way better. Right. Weird that they do... That's not how the LODs work. Why do they inverse that? LODs, the higher the number, the less laggy. This is the opposite. Higher, more lag. So weird. It's really just the center. Yeah, we don't want to change that value. 2.5